Hello and welcome to another IELTS speaking video by Johnny. And this is my 4 students from my class IELTS 38 and they are doing their regular speaking practice. Class, are you ready? Good, good. Now let's go to part 1 of IELTS speaking. And we are at topic number 26. Okay, 26 is about flowers. Okay, do you like flowers, class? Flowers? So let's talk about flowers now. So Miss Thao, what kinds of flowers do you like?
Yes, I think there are many of flowers, but I think I really like rose.
Okay, try to speak with
because
accent. Try to speak with more up and down intonation. Ráng làm sao có ngữ điệu xíu, nó cứ ngang ngang ai gai vậy là nó bị trừ điểm lắm luôn á. Tại vì sao? Nó ảnh hưởng khả năng người ta hiểu. If you try to speak with more intonation, it helps people understand you more. Now try again. Miss Thao, what kinds of flowers do you like?
there are so many flowers I like, but I think the flowers I have inspired me.
Is what?
Uh,
Is what?
is like, kiểu như có ấn tượng nó có thể the most inspiring.
That I have more, that I have more impression about. That I have a good impression. That I have a good impression about. Mà tôi có ấn tượng tốt về nó. I have a good impression about. So, which kind of flowers have you planted? Or have you planted any flowers, Miss Thao? Cố lên, try your best.
Yeah. Actually, I never have planted any flowers in my house because I am not good at
You're not good at planting, right?
Yeah, I'm not good at take care of plants, and maybe it can just when
I can't hear you well. Now I can't. Try to speak clearer. Nói cố gắng nói rõ hơn đi, nó cứ ngang vậy rất là khó nghe luôn á. Đã vậy mạng cũng vẫn đang vấn đề đó nha. The internet we are having a problem with internet now. You need to speak clearer. Now, try that sentence again. Have you planted any flowers?
Yeah. Actually, I never have planted any
That's better.
flowers
Tốt hơn đó. Good.
in my house because I'm not good at planting.
I'm not good at planting
any flowers, and it can just when I.
Okay, try that sentence again. Thử lại câu đó lần nữa. Try that sentence again.
Nói lại từ đầu không thầy?
No. Try the last sentence again. Cái câu cuối cùng em vừa nói.
Yeah. It can just when I take care of plants and flowers.
Mấy bạn nghe hiểu gì không? You understand what she said? Đó, nếu mà các bạn không nghe không hiểu hết á, chứng tỏ là giám khảo ta còn không hiểu bạo nữa cơ. Thảo, làm ơn improve it. Làm sao mà phải nói rõ ràng, ngắt đúng chỗ. Try again. Have you planted any flowers? Try again. Lại một lần nữa.
Yeah.
I'm not good at planting flowers. So, it's like that. Nó phải ngắt đúng chỗ vậy đó.
I never have planted any flowers because I am not good at take care of flowers, and it can just when I take care of them.
Okay. All right. So, Nguyen, please. What do you think about herbs? So basically, these words can be pronounced like herb. or it can be pronounced like herb. Cái nào cũng được nha. Whatever. It can be herbs in UK. It can be herbs in US. So have you ever, what do you think about herbs? Herbs are, for example, you have peppermint, you have thyme, you have basil, you know this one. Mấy cái cây hương liệu á. So we have rosemary, we have lavender. Those are herbs. So what do you think about herbs, Mr. Nguyen?
Well, I think they are some of the herbs can make the flavor for the dishes.
Yes, it improves the flavors. It improves the flavor of the dishes. Cải thiện cái vị của cái món ăn. Okay.
And some herbs, they improve the atmosphere.
The what? Wait. What do they improve? What do they improve? They improve the
atmosphere.
What do you mean the atmosphere?
Like lavender.
What do you mean atmosphere? It's not clear. Không rõ ràng. What atmosphere are you talking about? It improved what? The air, you mean? It improved the air?
I think it's the air there. I think some they improve the air, like lavender make you have a good smell. A smell.
Lavender. Of course, it smells good, makes me feel good. But this is essential oil. This is not the herb itself. This is essential oil, tinh dầu. This is not the herb itself. Anyway, it smells good. Anyway, so Dương, how about you? Have you planted any flowers before?
First thing that haven't, and I don't really love flower because I'm so lazy and expensive, and I have to spend much money in those flowers, so I don't plant it anymore.
Okay, but how about trees and plants in general? Have you ever planted any of them?
Yeah, I have planted one time already.
I have planted
one time already. It's I think
it's a what?
Tree. I don't know what that kind of tree, but yeah, but then they die, so I don't care much about them anymore.
Okay, good. Now, Miss Van, please. So, have you ever sent flowers to anyone?
Yes.
Well, you can
actually,
send flowers to anyone because it can be a different occasion. For example, for a kind of
graduation
occasion like funeral, for example, đám tang chẳng hạn, or đám cưới, wedding, or khai trương. It's like what's it called?
ceremony.
It's like a ceremony to launch
Opening.
businesses. When business are launched, it's called what's it called? I forgot the name for that. It's just an opening ceremony. Là khai trương, cái gọi là nghi thức khai trương ấy, opening ceremony. And what else? Sometimes if you like it, you give it to them. It doesn't have to be any occasion, you know. Okay, so Miss Van, have you ever sent flowers to anyone?
I have sent flowers to my friends several times. On special events like their birthdays or to celebrate their graduation.
To celebrate graduation? Yes, when people graduate, other people give them flowers too. True. Okay, so Miss Van, are there any flowers that have special meanings in your country?
Yes. It can say that lotus.
A lotus flower, of course. Lotus.
Lotus.
lotus flower can be. You can say lotus is our
Lotus is the
nation
national flower of
signature,
Việt Nam actually. Nó là cái loài
gọi
hoa
là
của đất nước mình luôn á.
tượng trưng, là gọi là national
Symbol.
symbol.
Or you can use the adjective form symbolic, or the verb form symbolize. It symbolizes something. It symbolizes the cái gì, sự kiên trì, bền bỉ, nhan sắc gì đó. It's like the perseverance of the Vietnamese people, the beauty, nhan sắc. Okay, so so Mr. Nguyen, please, are there any flowers that have special meanings in your country?
Well, there are many flowers have special meanings, but I think the most meaning with my country is lotus. Because the lotus in Vietnam is the
Yes.
Tình yêu là cái because the lotus in Vietnam is stand for the
integrity of the Vietnamese people, cái sự mà đoàn kết, sự thống nhất, sự mà giống như là có đức hạnh phẩm giá, integrity of the Vietnamese people. And what else? Besides from lotus, we also have other flowers. Tết thì là có hoa gì? What do people do? What kind of flowers are used during the Lunar New Year?
Hoa mai gọi gì thầy?
I think it's yellow flower. Not so sure. If you don't know exactly the name of that, just say the yellow flowers. Hoa vàng. Just say the yellow flower. If you don't know the name of that, it doesn't really matter. Just say the yellow flower. Anyway, so Miss Thảo, please, have you ever sent flowers to anyone? Hello, Miss Thảo, please. Have you ever sent flowers to anyone? Oh, I think she got kicked out of the room. Dương, how about you? Have you ever sent flowers to anyone?
Yeah, same flower. Yeah, a lot. So I'm quite recently sent for my mother and my aunt. Maybe my
Oh,
teacher.
you sent flowers to your mother and your aunt. That's really nice of you.
Yeah, so it's for like special event. So I send her. So I send them flowers.
Okay, so you sent them flowers, I see. Okay, good. Right, I just got kicked out of the room for internet problems, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go to 20. That's about part 1 already. So let's go to part 2, class. So we have 31. We don't want to do it because it's about art. It's a difficult topic and we will have to do it later. So let's go to 34. Part 2, 34. There you go. 34. Describe a person's home that you visited, that you liked, but you would not want to live in. Be careful. Be careful with all details, okay? Chúng cẩn thận với tất cả những cái chi tiết trong đây. Describe a person's home you visited. So past tense, quá khứ. That you liked. Okay, you liked it. But you would not want to live in. Miêu tả một cái nhà của người nào đó mà các bạn đã viếng thăm, mà các bạn cũng đã thích luôn, nhưng mà các bạn lại không muốn sống trong đó. You would not want to live in there. Because of some reasons, of course. You should say where it is. Nó nằm ở đâu vậy? What it is like. Cái nhà nó như thế nào? Why you visited. Tại sao bạn lại viếng thăm chỗ đó? Explain why you would not like to live there. Giải thích tại sao bạn lại không có muốn sống ở nơi đó. Okay, be careful with this part 2, okay? You need to explain why you would not want to live in there. That's important. Cái khúc mà tại sao tôi không muốn sống ở đó nó quan trọng lắm nha. And you have part 3 of visiting others. Về chuyện viếng thăm người khác. So, do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes? Người Việt có thích viếng thăm nhà của những người khác không? Well, you should expand it. Like, what do they often do when they visit them? Làm gì khi viếng thăm? What do they often bring when they visit others' home? Thường đem theo cái gì? What else then? And what kind of activity or what they often talk about when they visit others' home? Họ thường nói về cái gì, thường đem theo cái gì, làm hoạt động gì khi họ viếng thăm nhà của người khác? Well, that's something you should talk about too. Next question. What do Vietnamese people do when they visit others? Người Việt làm cái gì khi mà họ thăm viếng người khác? Well, when they visit others, it means you visit someone else in their home. Khi thăm viếng người khác tức là mình đến nhà người ta đó, ở cái nhà của họ đó. So, the first question focuses on the fact that people do they like or do they not like to visit others. Cái câu đầu tiên này nó tập trung vào cái chuyện họ thích hay là không thích viếng thăm nhà người khác và tại sao. You should explain why they like and why they don't like to visit others' homes. The second question, it focuses on activities. Cái câu thứ hai nó tập trung vào những hoạt động mà họ muốn làm khi họ visit others. Okay, and then, is it common to bring gifts when visiting others? Why or why not? Liệu người ta có thường đem quà tặng khi mà viếng thăm người khác hay không? Is it common to bring gifts when visiting others? Well, think about the culture of this country. And you can think about the culture of other country as well, because this question does not only talk about Vietnamese people, you know. Cái câu này nó không chỉ nói về người Việt đâu. Hai câu trên thì mới là người Việt nha. Còn câu này là nói về con người nói chung. So, cái câu này các bạn hoàn toàn có thể nói về những cái nền văn hóa khác cũng được. You can totally talk about the other cultures if you want in this question. Okay, now I'll give you 2 minutes, okay? 2 phút suy nghĩ bắt đầu. Okay, class, let's do it now. Nguyên, please, you first. Please describe a person's home you visited that you liked but would not want to live in. Be careful. Past tense, cẩn thận, quá khứ.
Okay. I like to visit my uncle in my hometown, but in my hometown there is a lovely place and it has a peaceful atmosphere. And I love that atmosphere in my hometown.
Okay.
But I like to visit it. Because my grandmother wants to visit her homeland and her father's home. And I go with her and I love there because the atmosphere.
I loved it there. I loved it
I
there. I loved it there. Quá khứ. Past tense. I loved it there.
I loved it there. But I don't want to live in there because I don't want to live
there. I don't want to live there because
I don't like to live there because I have some business and I have to go to school on the city. So
of course you have to go to school in the city.
School in the city. So I can't live there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. That's a good answer. Câu trả lời tốt đó chứ. Well, Thảo, please. Can you describe a person's home you visited that you liked but would not want to live in?
I remember my parents' home in the village. There is a small house in the village.
There's a small
In the
house in the village. Tại sao anh nói rõ ràng được? Why can't you just speak clearly? Try again. Thử lại đi, please.
Yeah. I remember my house. I remember the home I was visited the first time. That is a small house in the village.
It was a small house in the village.
That was a small house in the village.
In the village.
In the village.
Okay,
and,
good.
And I still I saw that outside to inside is so cozy and
It's so
peaceful.
cozy, and I find it inside. It's so cozy. Try again.
I said inside.
It's so cozy inside.
It's so cozy inside, and I feel comfortable when I visit them. In the morning, I can walk along to the path to side
Have cẩn thận, có một cái gì đó, nói làm sao? There is, there are, there were, there was. Trong quá khứ. In the past tense, you use there was, there were.
There were fields, and it's not noisy in the city, but I wouldn't want to live in because in the city I need to study and work in that, but in the village I just have experience.
What? I do what in the what? Cẩn thận, câu vừa rồi không hiểu. I don't understand the last sentence.
Yeah.
Try again. Thử lại câu vừa rồi, please. Again. You're wasting our time now. Come on.
I wouldn't want to.
Nhanh lên, come on.
I wouldn't want to live in because
Okay.
in the city I must do study and work in there, and when I visit there, when I visit there, it's just experience.
It was an experience that I can never forget, isn't it? Okay, good. Now, Mr. Young, please. Describe a person's home you visited that you liked but you would not want to live in. Cái phần của Thảo nãy thầy không hiểu được tại sao em không muốn sống ở đó luôn á. I don't understand why you would not want to live there. Không thiệt luôn á. Cái cách mà em giải thích không hiểu gì đó. Với lại cái accent, cái giọng, cái giọng, cái tone nó cứ từ như vậy, người ta sẽ không thể hiểu nổi. Em phải vượt qua được cái chuyện đó thì người ta mới hiểu được, thì mới tăng 3 điểm được lên nha. Trời ơi, về nhà luyện tập thêm cho tôi khổ ghê. Okay, Mr. Dương, please. Describe a person's home you visited that you liked, but you would not want to live in, please.
So, it's my friend's house. This was my friend's house. I have been there for one time already. I quite like that house because there's full of features and it's really beautiful. The decoration of that house is really luxurious and expensive.
No, it was really luxurious. Phải dùng tính từ.
Oh,
You have to use the
luxurious.
adjective form. Luxurious. Luxurious.
Luxurious.
Luxurious. Luxurious.
Luxurious.
Luxurious.
And it's really spacious.
It's really spacious.
But, yeah, so everything is nice and it's full, and every like furniture they are full like coffee. Máy pha cà phê là gì nhỉ thầy?
Coffee machine.
Coffee machine, yeah. It has coffee machine, waffle. How can I say that?
What else? What other kind of machine does it have?
Waffle pancake.
Of course, pancake. Máy làm pancake ghê vậy?
Yeah, oh my god. But there's one problem that I don't really like that house because it's so spacious that it makes me feel lonely in that house.
Oh, it made you feel lonely. Good.
And sometimes I was scared because it's spacious and at night I cannot see anything. So
At night, what? At night, what?
If there's at night, it's really dark and I cannot see anything. And
You cannot see anything, I see.
I really like it. I don't really like it.
Okay. So that's why I would not want to live there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phải có câu đó nha. You need to have that sentence to make it clear. Very good. Now, Miss Bun, please. Can you describe a cousin's home you visited that you liked, but you would not want to live in there?
There was a house that I visited and liked it, but I didn't want.
Liked it. Cẩn thận.
Liked.
And
Liked it. But I didn't want to live in. It was a house of my friend in Long An City, in the suburban area, which is located about 100 kilometers from Ho Chi Minh City, and I did love the fresh air and the tranquility there.
Tranquility,
right?
Tranquility there in the fresh air. Yes. Good.
Yeah. There's a lovely garden with many kinds of flowers and trees.
Good.
That in the summertime I could lie down under the trees, enjoy the sunshine and listen to the birds. And however, I didn't want to live there because the inconvenience of traveling. It takes me hours to travel from the house to the nearby supermarket, so it's quite time consuming to buy things. And actually it's quite boring to live there because there wasn't a lot amusing.
There weren't many buildings. So.
Trung tâm giải trí hả chị?
Or entertainment center.
Entertainment
We
center.
call them there are two words you can use. They're entertainment or recreational center. Trung tâm để recreational, tái tạo lại sức lao động bằng cách giải trí. Recreational là tức là giải trí. Recreational centers or recreational buildings or entertainment centers.
It made me bored sometimes. So That's why I didn't want to live there.
Okay, that's why I didn't want to live there. Okay, good. Now, did I miss anyone? Young, have you done it?
Yeah, I have done already.
You have done it already. Everyone have done it already. Okay, good. Now, so let's go to part 3 of visiting others. And so, let's do one question here, Mr. Young. Do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes? Young, hello. Where are you?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes?
I think it's neutral because in Vietnam, like in Vietnam, Vietnamese rule, there are silent rules that you have to be
You mean unofficial rules?
yeah
Không chính thức, không chính
unofficial.
thức, unofficial rules.
Yeah, you have an unofficial rule when someone to if you want to go to their house, you have to have their accept it. So if you don't go to their house. That's the rule, and it's informal. And because of that, Vietnamese people don't want to visit. Don't sometimes don't like visit
Visit hay
other
visit?
home.
Don't want to visit hay visit?
Visit
Visit, don't want to visit.
other homes. Another reason that maybe
What is another reason then?
if they're their best friend, they can go to each other house without acceptance. Just sometimes,
Uh-huh. I
if you're
see.
really close
I
and
see.
friends for a long time.
Right. So, Miss Tan Thao, can you answer the same question, please? So, do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes? What do you think?
The country people like to visit other
Try
homes.
again. Okay, try again slowly. Try slowly. Again, please. Lại lần nữa, từ từ thôi. Do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes? Rõ ràng, chậm rãi.
Vietnamese people like to visit other homes often to eating a special event.
Event or even?
Event.
Event, sự kiện. Event.
Special event.
Nhấn âm 2.
They just visit them because they want to visit the people in that house in that house or in that house they always give present when they visit there. If that house they visit have people các people đặt con mình hay là gì đó nói thôi.
I don't understand what you say. Không hiểu. Tôi không hiểu bạn nó nói gì luôn. Really, I don't understand what you're saying. And I don't know how to improve it. Only you can help yourself. Thầy không hiểu Thảo đang nói cái gì luôn á. Nó cứ từ từ, nó cứ rất là rời rạc. I don't understand what you're saying really. Try again. Nói lại một lần nữa đi. Do Vietnamese people like to visit others' homes?
The Vietnamese people like to visit other homes. Often they want to go.
Speak clearly. Nói rõ ràng. Trời ơi, từ này từ nọ nó cứ dính nhau, làm sao mà hiểu. Try again. I'm getting really angry now.
Vietnamese people like to visit other homes. They often visit them when they eating a special event or
It's
they
a special
mm,
event because it's a special event. And then
because special event and they can give a present when the people in that
they can get a
house they
present
visit.
from the person who come and visit them, right? They can get a present from the one that come and visit them, isn't it? Okay. Then, Miss Thao, please do Vietnamese people. What do Vietnamese people do when they visit others? Like, what kind of activity do they do?
Um,
Yes. Think about activities. What do they often talk about? What do they often do? Play poker, for example? Nguyen, what do you think? What do Vietnamese people like to do when they visit others, Mr. Nguyen?
Well, it depends on what type it is. Like
It
introvert
depends on what? It
people, they
depends on
don't.
what? What does it
I
depends on?
mean, well, it depends on the type of the people. Like the introvert, they don't like to
The
visit
types of people. Cái loại người nào à? The types of people.
other type of people. Like
Okay.
introvert, they don't like to visit other homes, and extrovert, they really like. But some people they like to visit other homes because they can meet their own friend or their grandmother, grandfather, or the own their own very old friend. Um, so if some people they like to visit other homes because uh, they are because they are far from uh, they are far from their friend, and
They're far
someday
from their
they have
friends.
they far from their friend, and someday they have the business to move
Of course, they
on
have a lot of business to take
to,
care of. But the
to
question
take care.
is, when they visit others, what they do? They do not ask the
Well,
question, do Vietnamese people often visit others? Cái câu này đâu có hỏi là con người Việt Nam có thường viếng thăm nhau hay không đâu. Câu này nó hỏi là con người Việt Nam thường làm những cái gì khi họ viếng thăm nhau. Tức là tập trung cái hành động, hoạt động mà. Nguyên, try again. So what do Vietnamese people do when they visit others, Mr. Nguyen? So they assume
well,
that people visit others. Em đưa ra ví dụ là ví do là tùy người, tùy kiểu, người introvert, người hướng nội thì sao, hướng ngoại thì sao. Nhưng mà cái vấn đề nó không tập trung vào cái trọng tâm của câu này. Em hiểu không?
yeah.
You understand why you should focus on the question, what do they ask, and you answer them. Okay, so try again. What do Vietnamese people do when they visit others?
Well, Vietnamese people like to open a party when they visit others.
Open
Like
parties, actually, a lot of
open
parties.
party.
And they sing karaoke all day and night.
Yes. And some people they like to they visit to meet their own friends and have some con uh some uh, conversation with their friends.
Conversation.
Conversation with their friends. And some Vietnamese people they just visit because they have business. They have business to uh, they have business, and they have some free time to go visit
Okay.
the other people.
Okay. Okay, good. Now, Yung, can you answer the same question, please? So, what do Vietnamese people often do when they visit others?
They usually bring their gift to
Say again?
their off. They off.
When they do visit others, what do they do?
Mm, They usually bring.
Think about what you often see around you.
Yeah, so
They
I
sing
think
karaoke all day and night, and we cannot stop them even.
yeah. So they usually have parties when visiting artists. Maybe bring gifts like any type of gift, like champagne, cake, cookies,
Mm-hmm.
and mm, so I think it's quite common actually because it's an official rules too. Because if no, you will be same black rule and well, yeah,
Well, yeah. What do you mean?
and if we are friends, we're really close friend, and we're visiting others for a lot of times, like every days. We
Wow.
don't need to bring gifts
Of course not.
when visiting other house. Actually,
Of course not. I never bring gifts to my friend's house.
that's right.
Anyway, so Miss Van, please, is it common to bring gifts when visiting others? Why not?
Mm,
Think about gifts such as a bottle of wine, một cái chai rượu, a bottle of wine, some candies, số loại kẹo nước ngoài chẳng hạn, candies from abroad. Think about fruits. Think about cakes, bánh, trái cây, something like that. Is it common to bring gifts when visiting others? You should think about like it reflects the relationship of people. Nó phản ánh lên cái mối quan hệ giữa người với người. It reflects the relationship between people. So if they are close friends, of course, they wouldn't bring that many gifts, right? But if they are workaholics or if it is work related, nếu nó liên quan đến cái chuyện công việc á, if it's work related, people often bring gifts. Tại vì để muốn tiến thân tốt hơn trong công việc á, it's like people often bring gifts if they visit their boss house, if they visit their superior, cấp trên của họ. People often bring gifts. Think about visiting their relatives. Vậy thì viếng thăm người trong họ thì sao? Người quen, người trong họ, những người mà có họ hàng với mình thì sao? All right, Miss Van, what is it common to bring gifts when visiting others?
I think it is common and necessary.
Necessary. I'm down. Necessary.
Necessary to bring gifts when you visit someone. I think it helps express how much care you
have for the others
on the relationship that you care, like when you, before you choose a certain gift for the host, you will think about their preferences. Sở thích là gì thầy? Favorable.
Their interests, những điều mà người ta hứng thú, their sở thích, their hobbies.
Yeah, okay. So, and you choose the appropriate things for them.
Yes, appropriate thing for them.
So, so, so the gift will show your gọi là gì? Commit tận tâm ha. The
Your
sincere
commitment.
and
Commitment là
commitment.
sự theo đuổi đến cùng, sự
Yeah,
theo đuổi đến
and
cùng.
your sincere on the
Sự tận tâm
relationship.
là dedication. Sự tận tụy, tận tâm, dedication.
And in the special occasion when you visit một người mới quen,
When you visit someone you just met. When you
someone
visit
you
someone you
have
just met.
just met, or your boss, and you want to make a good impression
To make a good impression, very good.
uh, to them. So
Okay.
A gift is the best choice.
The best choice. Best. A gift is the best choice.
The best choice.
Good. Rất tốt. Okay, good. Now let's move on to another topic. Alright, so it's about interesting conversation. Topic number 35. Describe an interesting conversation that you had with someone. Miêu tả một cái cuộc đàm thoại rất là thú vị, một cuộc trò chuyện rất là thú vị mà bạn đã có với người nào đó. That you had with someone. It has to be something interesting, okay? It cannot be just a common talk. Nó không phải là một cái chuyện mà nói chuyện thông thường đâu, mà nó phải mang tính thú vị cơ. You should say who you spoke with. Các bạn nói chuyện với ai vậy? Where you were. Các bạn lúc đó ở đâu? What the conversation was about. Cuộc đàm thoại đó về cái gì? And explain why you think it was interesting. Interesting. And interested. Tính từ chủ động bị động. Interested. Tại sao bạn nghĩ nó là một cuộc đàm thoại thú vị? Think about some interesting conversation. For example, họp phụ huynh. Well, parents-teacher meeting is actually parent-teacher meeting. It's actually an interesting conversation because after that conversation, a lot of students will cry because their parents will be very angry when the teachers tell them what their children have been doing in class. Học phụ huynh, of course, một cuộc đàm thoại rất thú vị và dẫn đến nhiều thương đau, ảnh hưởng đến hạnh phúc gia đình. Of course. Now, what else? What other interesting conversation? Có thể là một cái kế hoạch, một cái ý tưởng nào đó. It can be an idea or a plan that you have with someone. Ví dụ ý tưởng mở doanh nghiệp chẳng hạn, like an idea to open a business, for example. An idea to study in another country, for example. An idea to study abroad, for example. Ý tưởng học nước ngoài chẳng hạn. Or any kind of interesting conversation you can think of. Now let's go to part 3 of interesting conversation. What is the most interesting conversation you ever had? Cái cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nhất mà bạn đã từng có là lúc nào? You can have an interesting conversation with anybody. Preferably with someone who is very different from you. Thường là những cái người mà rất là khác biệt đối với bản thân mình á, thì sẽ cho các bạn những cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nhất. Những người xuất thân mà khác mình lắm luôn á, nó sẽ cho các bạn cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nhất luôn, thiệt. If you talk to someone who comes from a very different background to you might have a very interesting conversation. So, the question asked you about the most interesting conversation you ever had. You should not mention the same conversation that you talked in part 2, okay? Mình không nên lấy lại cái part 2 để mình trả lời câu này. Like try to talk about something else, okay? Ráng mình nghĩ ra một cái ví dụ nào đó khác. Cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nào đó các bạn đã từng có. And don't tell me you don't have an interesting conversation before. Đừng có nói là mấy bạn chưa bao giờ gặp một cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nha, nó kỳ lắm luôn á. Mặc dù mình hoàn toàn có thể giải thích lại câu này, có thể phản bác lại câu này bằng cách là nói rằng cuộc sống của tôi thực sự chẳng có gì thú vị lắm đâu, cho nên tôi cũng chưa bao giờ có cuộc đàm thoại nào thực sự thú vị cả, cho nên cũng chẳng biết trả lời câu hỏi như thế nào đâu. Hoàn toàn có thể trả lời lại câu này như thế này, nhưng mà thực sự là không nên nha. Nếu mà làm vậy ta sẽ phải buộc phải qua câu hỏi khác cho các bạn. You can totally say that, okay, I do not have an interesting lifestyle, and to be honest, let's just say I don't have an interesting lifestyle. To be honest, most people I've met are not very intriguing to talk to. So I do not know whether I've had the most interesting conversation or not. Tôi không có một cái lối sống thú vị đâu, cho nên thành thật mà nói, phần đông người tôi gặp á, không có intriguing, không có thú vị đâu để mà nói chuyện. Cho nên tôi không có biết được liệu mà tôi đã có những cuộc đàm thoại thú vị nhất hay là chưa. You can totally answer the question like this, or you can think of another interesting conversation and answer that. You should also explain why it's interesting too. Nên giải thích là cái cuộc đàm thoại thú vị đó nó sẽ thú vị. Tại sao? Next question. In your opinion, what makes another person interesting to talk to? Theo nhận định của bạn, điều gì làm cho cái người đối diện nó thú vị để mà nói chuyện với người ta? Think about their personality. Nghĩ về cái personality, tính cách của họ. Think about what they do. Their activities. What else then? Think about their interests. Những cái mà họ hứng thú. Their interests. Think about the connection between you and that person. The connection between you and that person. Cái mối liên hệ giữa mình và cái người đó nữa. Mình có cảm thấy cái mối liên hệ đấy không? Nếu mà mình thấy lạc quẻ mà không có gì nói chuyện được thì mình chẳng thể nào mà có một cái cuộc đàm thoại thú vị đâu. So it depends also on the connection you feel between you and a person. If you do not feel like you can talk to that person, then you would not have an interesting conversation at all. Now, what else? Next question. Is it difficult to start a conversation with someone you don't know? Đó, mình có thể tập trung vào những cái gì thầy vừa nói là xong rồi cho cái ví dụ ở câu trước đó. Câu này nó nói là liệu có khó để mà bắt đầu một cuộc đàm thoại với một người nào đó mà bạn không biết người đó là ai không? Tại sao? So is it difficult to start a conversation with someone you don't know, and why? Think about what it depends on. Nó phụ thuộc vào cái gì? Để phụ thuộc vào tính cách của mình, tính người khác. Ở hoàn cảnh nào, in what okay, it depends on, of course, your personality and that person's personality as well. Depends on the bối cảnh, the circumstances. The circumstances, bối cảnh that you met each other. Cái bối cảnh mình gặp nhau ở đâu, như thế nào? The circumstances you meet each other. Okay, a lot of room for thinking, but you should think. Các bạn suy nghĩ đi, cố gắng lên. Okay, I'll give you 3 minutes to think about this topic. It's a difficult one. Nó một cái chủ đề khá là thú vị mà nó cũng khó đấy, phải không đâu? Okay, let's do it now, class. Okay, you first. Describe an interesting conversation you had with someone, please.
So I have a very interesting conversation with my classmate. So at a time, they're at my house. Yeah. So they're at my house. So so bored. We talk about some really interesting topics.
Yeah, what was it about?
It's sex education. Yes, we
What?
talk about sex.
Say again.
We talk about sex education.
Oh, sex education. Good.
We talk
Is it
about
a theme?
Of course,
talk
it's a good
about
topic to talk about.
sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well,
Why
in
not?
the past, you don't really talk about it at my age, but we talk about it
People
already.
should talk much more about it.
Yeah, but it's at my house, so
That's
my
awkward.
mom. Yeah, it's not
My
really
mom,
awkward.
my mother.
My mother is very worried about it, and my brother too. So we cannot really talk, but it's really interesting because I have a lot of knowledge about it, and my friend too because he is a fuckboy.
Oh no, don't use those words in IELTS. Slang.
Oh, okay. So
Bad
he's
words. It's a bad
so
boy.
he's really not really really kind boy.
It's not a good person.
Yeah. So I understand him, but I cannot stop him. So we have a really lot of conversations about
Careful
it.
what you talk about in IELTS.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
And we think it's interesting because it has a lot of sex jokes about
Sex jokes are fun.
sex joke fun, and it's not really common to talk about. But if you talk about it very seriously, it's quite interesting.
I agree. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, well, it was interesting to talk about. Nguyên, please.
Well, I just have an interesting conversation yesterday. Like
Yes, a conversation
me with
yesterday.
my friend on the internet talk about the games and the tank in real life. So I chatting with him on the messenger and talk about many things about the tanks, the ammunition, the armor, and
The armor,
something
ammunition, the shield, what weapons
shield.
I can use in the game.
Yes. And I feel that very interesting because he liked the same thing as me, and the consultation starts at 8 p.m. and end at like more than 12 a.m.
Okay.
And I found that very interesting me because I learned a new things about the game and about the weapon in the real life. And
In real life, we don't say the real life.
in
In
real life.
life, okay.
And I like it because he have
Okay.
the same hobby as me.
If someone has a similar hobby to you, that's when the story become very interesting. So it's, well, you can add that to the second question of part 3. Có thể thêm nó vào cái phần part 3 này. Nếu mà cùng hobby thì đương nhiên là cái cuộc đàm thoại nó sẽ thú vị rồi. Of course. Okay, so good idea, very good. Now, Miss Hảo, please. Describe an interesting conversation you had with someone.
Yeah. I remember the conversation recently. I talked about with my best friend.
My best friend.
My best friend about study.
ST.
My
My
best
best friend.
my best friend
Best. ST.
my best friend about studying math. I'm not really good at learning math, but I'm really like learn about it.
I really like to learn about it. I
About
really
it.
like to learn about it.
I really like to learn about it. And he, in the conversation, he always um, talk about the math, and and he and he always help me improve my knowledge, uh, and he gives me many advice. So I think it. So I think when I talk with him, I
Talk to
I
him.
feel
When I
that
talk with him or talk
to
to
him
him, I
talk to him. I feel that is a conversation. That is an interesting conversation.
okay.
Uh,
Okay, good. Now, all right. So, Miss Van, please, can you describe an interesting conversation you had with someone?
I had an interesting conversation with my friend about his new life as a um, but studying abroad student in Sweden,
Oh, Sweden is a good country to go to.
and so I was born and live in Vietnam, and I haven't ever had a chance to visit to a Western country,
To visit a
such
Western country, không visit to nha.
uh,
To
visit
visit a Western
a
country.
Western country.
So,
So the story about it is very quite gọi là cái gì nhỉ?
sorry?
Frustrating. Amazing. Amazing to me. Like um, people usually start to work about 8, 9 a.m. and finish at 4 p.m. It's quite early. And after that, they completely go to home and relax.
Go home.
Go home
They completely go home and relax.
and relax. I can feel the vibe there is that work is just a part of life, and work is not everything as things happen in Vietnam.
Okay.
And the life there was quite so gọi gì đây? It's
Interesting.
worth to live.
It's worth living. You mean it's worth living? Đáng sống rồi. You mean, is that what you're saying? It's worth living?
Câu kết là gì nhỉ? Another reason that I like it was about the weather. In Vietnam, you couldn't see snow, and seeing the snowman and can wear warm clothes in the snow is quite one of my dreams. And I thought his story was so interesting, and if I had a chance, I want to be I want to experience the thing the story is saying.
The thing that he talked about, I think.
The experience he say.
Okay.
À,
Good. It seems like you are having a problem with when you talk. It's like I think you got COVID, and I think maybe you should go test it. I think I should go and test too, because I'm having headache now, I think.
không rồi thầy uống thuốc thôi và nghỉ ăn thôi.
It just take some pills, paracetamol, Alaxan is fine too, right?
Đúng không? Thầy phải mua thêm nước súc miệng nếu như mà thầy thấy khó chịu cổ họng.
Yeah,
You have a
that
cough?
I can use salty water for that, I think.
Thầy mua you can try và xuyên tâm liên.
Oh no, I heard about that. Okay, right.
Yes, at a face mask, Vietnamese brand.
I know. Okay, I could go head to the pharmacy for that, I think. Anyway, let's go to part 3 now. So, Ms. Nguyen, please. So, what's the most interesting conversation you have ever had?
Well, the most interesting conversation I ever had is the conversation about history with my father. Uh, so me with my father talk about the things happened after the 1954. 1954 is about uh, Bảo Đại government
The
and
Bảo Đại government in Vietnam, who is the last king of Vietnam, ông vua cuối cùng của Việt Nam. The Bảo Đại government, and Bảo Đại is the last king of Vietnam. You should mention that when you mention his name, because it's not English. Cái tên nó không có tiếng Anh, cho nên phải giải thích ra là ông là ai. He was the last king of Vietnam. Okay, try again.
So the most interesting conversation I ever had is the conversation about
Conservation or conversation, which one? Một cái là sự
a
bảo tồn,
conversation.
còn một cái là cuộc đàm thoại.
Conversation.
It's conversation.
Conversation I ever had is about the topic about history. With my father, we are talking about the Vietnam after the 1954. It's about the government, who is the last king of Vietnam and the last king of the Nguyen dynasty.
Okay.
And we talk about how Nguyen Diem betrayed Bảo Đại and take the government from Bảo Đại.
Okay. So, it was a betrayal. Okay, and what else about it? Can you tell us more?
And we have a long
We had a long conversation.
And there are many topics about the Nguyen Diem and Bảo Đại. It also have America, about how America helped Nguyen Diem to build.
Who is Nguyen Diem? You have to mention he was one of the presidents of Vietnam.
He is one of the presidents in the Republic of Vietnam.
Well, I think it's called. Oh yeah, Republic of the Republic of Vietnam, or we call it South Vietnamese government. The South Vietnamese government. He was one of the president of the Republic of Vietnam, which is the South Vietnamese government. Chính quyền miền Nam Việt Nam. And then, please continue, please.
And then there are many topics. So, and I think that is very interesting because it teaches me about history and
It taught me,
taught
he taught
it
me about
taught me
history.
about new things in history and give me some lessons
Industry. I'm
in
down.
history in history and give me a lesson to have more uh, have more points in life.
Okay. Now, so, Mr. Young, please, in your opinion, what makes another person interesting to talk to?
I think it depends on very much.
What does it depends on?
It depends on your personality, the way you talk, the way your pronunciation, and the depth of your voice, your and how you thinking about that topic too. Like example, if you talk to someone that you don't, if you like the person that want to talk, they have a deep knowledge about something like books and this knowledge about books but want them to have a real deep voice. It's hard
Deep
to
voice.
find sometimes, and
Well, deep voice does help to make another person interesting to talk to.
yeah,
How about a voice very high? It would not make another person like to talk to, right?
yeah, and maybe if you are like a really aggressive people, aggressive person, if you talk to anybody else, everybody will think you are real rude and
Really
not
what?
really
Really what?
rude,
Rude.
rude
Thô lỗ hả?
and
Rude.
kiểu kiểu gọi là tục tĩu thôi.
Of course, rude.
Real rude, but you just being aggressive, like acting normal. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Okay, good. So, what do you think, Miss Tao? In your opinion, what makes another person interesting to talk to?
I I see makes another person interesting talk. They must to focus on they must to talk focus on the same and
Focus on what? Focus on what?
on same á thầy, kiểu như cái chủ đề á thầy.
Focus on the same corner, the same topic, isn't it?
Yeah, focus on the same topic and they do not crack a joke if they talk a serious issues or serious problem. I, mm, yes. Em mới nghĩ ra một ý
Okay.
nè.
Yes.
Em mới nghĩ ra một ý đó rồi chứ mấy ý kia em cũng chưa biết.
Okay, think about your idea and then present it. Nói đi. Just present it. Trình bày đi.
Em mới nghĩ ra một ý hồi nãy là còn mấy ý kia em cũng chưa nghĩ ra.
Okay, fine. Now, Miss Tao, is it difficult to start a conversation with someone you don't know and why? Liệu có khó bắt chuyện người nào mà không biết không? Tại sao?
For me, I think it's not difficult to begin a conversation with another people because they can talk about weather or environment around. such as they can talk on the weather. The weather, the weather today is good. Um, the the people near the people sitting the people cái người ngồi bên cạnh thì nó sẽ
The people who sit next to us.
the people who sit next who sit next to me they 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 will respond about
Respond to.
they will
Respond
respond
to.
to
They don't respond to us.
And then
Okay.
they can talk about their conversation.
Okay, good. Right, so Miss Van, what do you think? Is it difficult to start a conversation with someone you don't know, and why? Of course, you talk to someone you don't know all the time because you're a doctor anyway. So you should know the answer for this question, Miss Van.
I think it's difficult or not. It depends on the topic that you want to talk to with the others. Like I'm a dentist, so each patient come to me because they want me to listen to the pain, their
To the
problem.
pain, the problems, and how to solve it.
So they are willing to talk about their problems. But if there are strange people in the store or on the road, I think it's quite hard to start a conversation with them.
Conversation.
Conversation.
Okay.
With like gọi gì ta?
Stranger.
Yes. Like we are strangers to each other, and you.
We are all strangers to each other. Chúng ta đều là những người lạ mặt với nhau.
So it is isn't. It is insecurable.
It's the so it's not safe. You mean không an toàn? Is it?
It's unsafe to share about ourselves to the people.
True, it's not safe to share about ourselves with other people. Okay. What do you think, Mr. Nguyen? Should you share or start a conversation with someone you don't know, and why?
Well, I think I don't like it to talk about to have a conversation with someone I don't know because I don't know what they are and
Who they are. Don't know who they are.
or who they are, and do they will leak my story to everyone they know? And
Or if the story will become public knowledge, or the story or my story will become public, become public. Chuyện của tôi trở thành là chuyện công cộng. My story will become public or not.
And like if and I scared to be like I can hurt someone if I don't know what they have they has been suffered in the past. So I'm scared like my story can hurt them.
Of course. Now I think we can just stop it here. Chắc mình nên dừng ở đây thôi. Because that's the end of the topic, I think. Alright, so next time, I think we should do 36 and then 37. Promise. Alright, so that's all for today then. Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh để đăng ký kênh á, để mà các bạn sẽ được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.